October 6, 2017, I'm wearing my high-tech ministries shirt today, and yet I'm the world's first and primary master consultant for all world leaders. Yes, all world leaders, including teaching the military and the police and law enforcement, everyone, how to conduct. No more criminal investigations are ever going to be needed with EVote.one and urlident.com. All of the ministries in God's name are complete. We're currently at BuiltbyKeith, which is actually where one of the death camps were for the prisoners of war in World War II. This is the wall, hard to see because of the way the sun is done. And this is the water tank towers here. This is part of the Bataan Death March scenario back in 1942 and 1943. And this is where most of the American prisoners from one of the local major battles were brought, and they suffered horribly, horribly. It was actually the Camp O'Donnell, and then this one is actually the Corregidor, which is May 1942. The deaths, the death march, will now be all criminals around the world. They've been ordered to surrender, or they will be manhunted down by their victims by putting rewards on their heads with urlident. This is also the world's first and only last alpha and omega database that controls and shows all the right once read public contracts, bids. Private information can be secure very quickly, but the main thing is public information. It's the world's first open public society that forever gets rid of all wars, all civil wars. Consider this a walking tour. Here we have the West Point Memorial. They had more West Point graduates killed back in 1940 era. And these are all the class of the West Point generals, brigadier generals, majors, colonels, all the people. So what am I asking the entire world to do? Go public. Talk directly to world leaders, world church leaders, particularly corporations, because they're all going to be under attack by the people in the world's most powerful Reformation unification movement that's the most peaceful transition from all other forms of government to one single new world society called unocracy that indeed is the last testament. It fulfills revelations, including Revelations 4:8. Anyone can simply call me on my cell phone, and I will come to your places of greatest need, no passport or visa required. Particularly, Lamont Siller in U.S. Department of Justice will personally fly me back to the United States under military escort, and he can confess why he violates constitutional law, just like almost every other government official that I have ever met. They refuse to look at a few single documents that show I was brutally and viciously kidnapped and severely persecuted, never prosecuted because I've always been the #1 plaintiff, never been a defendant. So how did I spend 858 days in hell jail? Because you, my people, have been blindsided, so many other different words, with apathy and lack of education that's solved with World School Fund, Solution Housing, and particularly solutionpeace.com. The most dramatic effect will be a simple call to bidonkeith.com.